Hey you, are you a veteran or a soon-to-be veteran? If you are, this video is for you because I want to tell you why you should not use your GI Bill. Instead, use this benefit. Today, I want to talk about VR&E, Veteran Rehabilitation and Employment, formerly known as Vocational Rehab. The most up-to-date version of the VR&E program has multiple tracks. In this video specifically, I want to discuss employment through the long-term services track. In order to be eligible for VR&E as a whole, you must be a veteran who did not get a dishonorable discharge. That means you are eligible if you got an honorable discharge or a general discharge, and you must have a VA compensation rating of 10% or more to be eligible for VR&E. After applying to VR&E and being accepted, you will be assigned a veteran rehabilitation counselor. After being accepted to the VR&E program, you will meet with your counselor on the phone to discuss your hopes and dreams for your career and what you hope to accomplish and achieve by using the VR&E program. Based on that initial conversation with your counselor will recommend the best track for you. This track is for those that are not currently in the line of work that they want and are currently in the line of work that is causing additional discomfort and problems associated with their VA disability. So if your goal is to get away from employment, whether that employment was the military or new employment in the civilian world that is causing additional discomfort and pain, this track is going to assist you in getting new education, certifications, and qualifications to ensure you get placement into a job that is no longer going to cause issues for your VA injuries. So if your conversation with your counselor goes a lot like this and telling the counselor that your injuries are exacerbated by the work you are currently doing, and instead of doing this work, you would like to get education in X field in order to get Y job, then that's what he's likely going to recommend is this specific track. So this particular track of VR&E provides benefits that include a complete skills assessment, career guidance, job market evaluation, education and training for professional or vocational field that's a good fit for you, an apprenticeship, on-the-job training, and volunteer opportunities, and employment assistance. The most important part here that I want to talk about is the education and training for a professional or vocational field that's a good fit for you. Because of the flexibility within this track of VR&E, I am going to call this track GI Bill 2.0. Under this track specifically, VR&E can be used to fund undergraduate school, graduate school, medical school. The way VR&E covers education expenses is very similar to that of the GI Bill. In the same way the GI Bill pays the institution directly if you're using the post 9/11 GI Bill, VR&E will pay the institution directly for the cost of tuition. Similarly, VR&E will also provide a monthly housing stipend. However, it is not going to be based on the same qualifications as the GI Bill. Another big difference between the VR&E and the GI Bill is what VR&E will cost on an annual basis. For those of you that don't know, the GI Bill only covers roughly $26,000 per academic year towards college education and tuition. So if your tuition is more than that and you're using the GI Bill, you're going to have to rely on things like the Yellow Ribbon Program, scholarships, grants, and loans. However, VR&E does not appear to have a hard line limit like the GI Bill does for the maximum tuition cost that they will cover. When working with your VR&E counselor, you will discuss different programs as you apply and get into these programs. And if the cost of your tuition at your said school is too high, your VA counselor will just have to apply for permission for you to attend a high cost program, at which point the entirety of that program and its fees will be covered through the VR&E program. Your VR&E counselor can really make or break this experience, which is why obviously you should always be polite, respectful, and helpful to anybody, but especially these men and women who are assisting you in this program to help you get the job you want, the education you want, and need in order to provide for your family. You will have to work regularly with your VR&E counselor, not just at the beginning to formulate your education plan and your goals, but throughout the process to ensure that you are on track, performing well in the classes, and don't need any additional assistance. you may be eligible for both VR&E training and the GI Bill benefits. You will need to decide which benefit you want to use. Now let's talk about why you should use VR&E before you use the GI Bill. Based on my experiences with VR&E, let me know in the comments if you want to hear my experiences with VR&E. I would use VR&E before I go on to use my GI Bill if I have a long road of education ahead of me, i.e., doctor, lawyer, graduate school, and so on. I would do this for a few reasons. The first reason is that VR&E is far more involved and offers much more than the GI Bill. You will likely need more resources and assistance immediately following your discharge from the military than you will after 4 to 5 years of being out. While VR&E can technically be used for graduate school, medical school, or any other high-level education, a single VR&E counselor can make or break this experience. One counselor could make applying for graduate school using the VR&E far more difficult than another. So it's almost like a roll of the dice to see if a VR&E counselor is going to be easier for you during graduate school or undergrad. But because nearly every employer these days requires a bachelor's degree, it's far easier to justify to a VR&E counselor that you need to use VR&E to get your undergraduate degree. Then later on, if you decide to go to graduate school, you have the GI Bill that will not require proof and additional administrative work to prove that you need to go back to school. If you use the VR&E program out of necessity to get you the education and training to get you appropriate employment, you may not necessarily need to use the GI Bill after that. This then allows you to hold on to GI Bill eligibility that you can use later in life for a career change or a passion project at a later time. VR&E is a super awesome program and really, as you can tell, kind of vague and difficult to interpret. So much of it relies on your VR&E counselor. So make sure you continue to do homework. Check out the link below where you'll learn much more about the program. And if you are thinking about using your GI Bill for an expensive school, check out my video on the Yellow Ribbon program. See you guys next week. Peace.